Common data formats. When we need to communicate with each other, we need to be speaking the same language. The language structure helps us package the message in an understandable format. The nouns, verbs, adjectives all help us incorrectly deliver the message that can be understood by the other party. The same approach could be extended to communication between machines. They rely on a certain structure to deliver the messages, both in terms of delivery as well as the message format. As you could imagine, without the benefit of nonverbal human communication, such as gesture or voice tones, machine communication rely on even more rigid sets of rules to ensure effective communication. We will learn about delivery methods, such as REST API, in another lesson. In this section, let us focus on the ways machine could package the message or data format in order to deliver from one side to another. Of course, there are lots of different ways we could structure our data. If we think back to the human language comparison, do all languages have the same structure and format? Well, maybe some of them do, but many of them are very different. In data formats, there are also many different types. Each can have its own advantages and disadvantages. Imagine this. You just built your next generation data center consists of a brand new topology. How would you represent this data center structure in a format that is easy to understand and transmit? Can you describe the topology in a text file? What about a comma-separated format like a spreadsheet? A good data format could consist of the following characteristics. It should be able to easily accommodate common scenarios, making common things easy and hard things possible. The data format should be easily extensible. We shouldn't have to reconstruct the whole file in order to allow newer scenarios. The data format should be made into a standard. This would promote interoperability and allow commonly used programming languages to easily convert this data into a format that could be natively understand and manipulate. Lastly, this data format should ideally be humanly readable. After all, machines read the file, but we humans write the code for the machine. So ideally, a human readable format would allow us to better troubleshoot when needed. The three common data formats that we will discuss are XML, JSON, and YAML, all of which are meant to store and exchange data. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. It is a markup language similar to HTML that makes up the internet web pages. JSON is short for JavaScript Object Notation. It is written in a notation that could be easily mapped into common programming languages, such as Python. YAML stands for YAML and a markup language, and commonly used for configuration files, and addresses what some people would consider the shortfalls of other markup languages. All three formats store data in text, allowing the computer to convert the text into an easily transported binary form over the internet and be reconstructed on the other end. Let us take a look at each of the data formats in more details.